Hello.
Sorry about that. The phone did not ring.
Hold on 1 second. How you doing, sir?
Not bad. How are you?
This is Charlotte County Cop Watch, right?
That is correct.
But that's not the name of the channel, correct?
Actually, the channel has many names. The best way to find it on Facebook and YouTube is just type in Charlotte County Cop Watch.
And you don't mind if I record and publish this interview conversation, right?
I would appreciate it if you promote the Live Free or Die YouTube channel. Yeah, that's fine.
Go ahead. Is there the thing is there a space in that or something?
In fact, now that you're mentioning it, I'm going to look at it right now to see exactly.
It says like live free space or die, people.
Correct.
Okay, so you got to put a space in there.
No, actually, you do not. Actually, I'm looking over it. Live Free or Die, people, before it's too late. I had to make a long one because somebody took Live Free or Die. I used to have that name on my old channel, but unfortunately the sheriff took it down, as I was telling you. I believe he did.
So the best way to find you and what you do is Charlotte County Cop Watch.
Yeah, Facebook or YouTube, you just type that in, and it will come up. Correct.
All right. So we spoke for about a few minutes last time, and I cut the conversation short so we wouldn't get into stuff that's best suited for publishing. So
that is correct.
You want to give your name or?
Yeah, that's fine because everybody can find me anyway. So yeah, my name is Andy. I've been running Charlotte County Cop Watch for 6 years.
Right on. Did you start Charlotte County Cop Watch?
I did. Nobody else was doing it in the area at the time.
How'd you find me?
On YouTube. Your video is famous.
Right. Because I got lucky and got pulled over.
If that's what you call it, I call it for profit.
You call it what?
I call it policing for profit.
Oh, that's what they're doing, of course.
Correct.
Extortion, racketeering.
Absolutely. Why? How long have you been in Florida?
Since 2001.
All right, I came down in 2000 from Michigan. So, anyways, I don't know what Ohio is like. I think you mentioned that before, but Michigan, I mean, it was bad, but nothing like this. I mean, the police state, in my opinion, is completely out of control here.
Okay. I can agree with that so far from what I've seen in Pasco County. And then here's the thing is I have a multi-look at it because I was a restaurant owner in Polk County for about 12 years. And I gave all the first responders free drinks, and I was friends with a deputy for all them years. And, so I don't hate police. I just hate the ones that make up stuff as they go along, lie straight to your face, insult your intelligence, do shady stuff they shouldn't be doing. It sounds like similar to what you're up to, in my opinion.
Correct.
All right. You don't hate all cops, right?
No, I do not. I know that we need cops. We just don't need, corrupt cops. We don't need policing for profit. I'm 53. I don't know how old you are, but I remember all the way back in 1983 in high school. I mean, in Michigan. I mean, holy crap! In high school, I don't recommend it, but you could be drunk. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I was drunk. I sold weed. I smoked weed, speeders, acid, all of that. And it wasn't a big deal back then. And then I come down here and it's like everything is illegal.
Yeah.
You do know the saying in Florida, come on vacation, leave on probation, right?
I've heard it once or twice, yeah.
Yeah, correct. That's how bad it is.
Especially if you have out-of-state tags, man. That's when I would get hit the hardest. When I first moved down, I had Ohio plates. I must have got stopped 8 times for, once I got pulled over for a headlight by the same cop twice in one night. I'm like, yeah, man. And he's like, didn't I stop you for this? I go, yeah. Can I have, the store's not open. Can I go get a bulb tomorrow? Can you like calm down?
Correct.
Right.
And I had the same kind of thing when I first moved down here. I went through Cape Coral, when that's like about a half hour below me, one time. And just because I had a black Cadillac, I was actually going to an AA meeting, and the guy pulled me over. I got AA literature sitting in the car, and he starts just totally violating my rights and getting a dog to search the car. I was like, oh my God. And that's when I started to wake up. But it was actually 6 years ago when the corruption happened. I mean, I had a bad neighbor that turned into a stalker, took him to court. The sheriff deputy that was helping me flipped my stalker neighbor, hired the best lawyer in town, got the guy that was helping me, the deputy, to flip in court, commit perjury, got the case thrown out. And that's when I just woke up and I saw a cop watch. And I looked around to see if anybody was doing it here. Nobody was, because as you know, if nobody says anything, nothing changes. And so that's why I've been doing it for 6 years. And my idea, I don't know your idea in doing what you're doing, but my idea was when I started, I wanted to expose the corruption here, locally, and nationally. And I, believe it or not, I kind of got the idea from Drudge Report. Drudge Report is the biggest freaking news website on the planet, and all they do is repost news from other places.
Right.
So that's where I got the idea. Just start taking, government corruption, mainly, police and sheriff, and reposting it from here and nationally. And the big YouTube channel is at 70 million views, 4 million views a month, 60,000 subscribers, and 1 year ago, sheriff took it down.
Now, what do you mean, Sheriff who? Prummel from Charlotte County?
Yeah, correct.
He took it down how?
Correct. There are different techniques that you can you can do online to get channels taken down. If you just look at all the community guidelines and whatever else, there's just different ways that you can do it. Basically, if you get enough trolls, you can do it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Okay. Yeah.
So, what was taken down your YouTube channel?
YouTube channel. By the way, I did not make any money. I did make money in the beginning. Within 6 months, I found out the trick too, John. You might be, I don't know if you are making money or not. I found out that volume was the key to making money. But I wanted to get stories out too. So, in the beginning, in 6 months, I was up to $100. I was investing in good computers, monitors.
You were up to how much? How much were you up to?
$1,300 a month.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, I've had other channels taken down, because everything's a copyright strike nowadays. Jesus, man. So even if you do it under fair use. So YouTube came to me. They said, okay, you can keep your channel, but we get to make the money. And I didn't want to take down the channel because it was starting to fly. So they made all the money for all those years. I didn't make crap, but the channel did. I mean, it just exploded. And just so you know, you've seen what I've been doing for a while, John. So like I said, I want to get as much corruption out there, exposed as possible. When they took the channel down, there was 15,000 videos on it.
That's crazy.
That if you have a computer and you've been doing this long enough, and you saw that I'm not totally perfect like some of these other YouTubers, you can crank them out that quick. And there is that much corruption happening, is there not?
I could employ 10 guys easily.
Literally. I love what you're doing on your channel. You're getting people to talk. What happened? Why did you start it? I think that's beautiful, man.
Thank you. I just did. If you go back to the timeline of my channel, I was scratching lottery tickets. Just stuff that happens in my life. It's not like I purposely go out looking for this stuff.
Right.
I'm just living my life, and I can't even get to my house without showing ID. And then that sets off the fireball. That sets off the flame. And they couldn't handle being talked to a certain way. They got offended. The judges are on their side, etc. I mean, everything you're talking about is what's going on. And if people are ignorant to it or they deny it, it's because they're either liars or they don't know.
That is correct. Well, people don't realize. Have you heard of that book that Dershowitz put out called 3 Felonies a Day?
No.
Okay, he made a book. This is out of control. There's so many laws, ordinances, and statutes, local, state, and federal, that you, John, sitting right there, are committing 3 felonies right now, and you don't even know it.
I believe it.
That's how out of control it is.
Yeah, so basically they can get you for anything at any time if they just look hard enough.
Well, somebody literally compared it to Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany, they said, don't charge them with anything. Just bring them to me. I'll open up the file and I'll find something.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes.
They do that now. They say, let me see some ID for my investigation. In other words, help me investigate you. And you can't move in the meantime. Your freedom is impeded.
That is correct. I call it fishing. Do you agree?
Fishing? I mean, no, because it's worse than fishing. At least fishing, the fish have a chance. They could decide to run away. All right? We don't have a chance.
That is true. You just blew my saying out of the water.
This is like fishing in a barrel. That's what it's like.
Okay, there you go. I'll say it that way from now on.
Because we're trapped. We can't swim away.
That is true. Did you see even Adam Kokesh right now is out trying to do his book tour? Jesus Christ, they haven't even made it a couple states. They're already getting pulled over for multiple things. It's outrageous.
Oh, Kokesh is on a book tour?
Yes, he is. Do you know who he is? And
of course.
Yeah, okay. I've met him in person. I've heard him speak. He signed my book. So, yeah, he's on a book tour right now. Look him up on Twitter. It's outrageous. Just like you said, just driving all the different people you're running into. You got Code Nazi police. You got the Border Patrol is completely out of control.
No, they got something to prove. They got something to prove now because YouTube's making them look so dumb.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There are bureaucrats everywhere. Armed bureaucrats everywhere.
That is correct. Are you aware of how out of control the Code Nazi police are now also?
You mean code enforcement officers?
Yes. Yeah, I call them Code Nazis because, dude, they're not even real cops and they're freaking busting people left and right with daily unconstitutional fines.
Oh, yeah. If
the cops did what the Code Nazis did, they would be sued to hell.
Our cops are code Nazis. The cops that gave me address citations were the same ones who set up the checkpoint in my neighborhood who demanded ID. So they're one and the same.
Correct. That is true. Absolutely true.
They're disgusting, is what they are. They use they've memorized the most tyrannical statutes and codes and know them by heart and how to apply them. But God forbid they ever read the First Amendment or the Fourth Amendment.
Correct. I totally agree. How about you finding a lawyer? Have you found a decent one, or you're doing pro se and stuff? What's that?
I pro se'd my stupid citations, and I embarrassed the judges, and I embarrassed the cops in court on cross-examination. But then I ended up paying the fine because it costs more to appeal than to actually pay the fine. I would love to file Title 42 civil action against all the cops, but good luck. I called like 30 lawyers, and I can't get no one to do anything.
Okay, so that's what we're finding out too, John. 6 years I have so much stuff. I have friends that have stuff down here, civil rights abuses. We cannot find any. I thought I actually found one here for one. I wasted money. You already know this, John. You've been following this channel. We're getting trespassed down here just for freaking filming public officials on public duty. That is outrageous. And just to beat one of the trespasses on the appeal, this lawyer charged me $1,500. That I realize now it's a waste. I thought she could sue to get the money back. She said she can't. Then she said she's going to take the civil rights case where they violated my rights for filming in public. And all of a sudden she calls and says she's too busy. It's just, I don't know if you got a chance to talk to Jeff Gray from Honor Your Oath, but I talked the other day, John. He literally did admit that his lawyer did tell him that I'm sure you've heard this, John, that, people, probably badger these people not to deal with this. He said his lawyer literally admitted it, that yes, the bar and other lawyers and government, we're talking to his lawyer, don't help that guy. He's one of those patriots. He's fighting corruption, like a bad thing. Is that insane?
It is insane. That's upside down world. That's what I call that. They live in their own world.
So what is your opinion? Are we free in America, or that's gone and long gone, or can we get it back?
Free in what sense? Not really.
I would agree with that, because you know the stats on jails and prisons in America, right?
I mean, you're only as free as the Second Amendment allows you to be, because if they decide to do something dumb, that's your last resort.
That is correct. That was not for hunting. You are correct. Well, it's for hunting, but something else. But I mean, so you said we have the most country. We have the most people in jail, prison than the whole rest of the world. That is outrageous and sad.
Right. Like, did you see? I just interviewed Eric Brand. He's doing 90 days for chalking, for writing on the sidewalk with chalk.
Wow.
And one of the arresting officers just got 90 days himself for rape. Raped a woman while he was on duty, handcuffed her and raped her. And he got a plea deal for 90 days. So Eric chalks the sidewalk, 90 days. Arresting officer of Eric rapes a woman, 90 days. I mean, are we free in America? You tell me.
That is sick. I don't know if you saw that on one of the Facebook pages, the pictures. I married a Filipino. I was in the Philippines for 2 years. And I will tell you this. You are more free there than here now. When I came back to America, I think it's 8 or 9 years now, after I was there for 2 years, I could not believe how police state fascist it went. It's just, it's completely out of control. You know who started this also, which president started the police state?
I mean, Nixon, at least Nixon, or before that even, the drug war.
That is true. Yes, Nixon is one of the main offenders. Oh, my God. Let's give all of our jobs to China, and then let's start the drug war here. We'll start a new industry, jails, prisons, bail. I mean, you know the spiel. It's out of control. I mean, I think it's pitiful. You know the tallest building in Charlotte County is the courthouse. It's disgusting.
Well, they get the most free money.
Correct. Yes.
It's very similar to banks and churches. They all get a secret side money they don't have to pay taxes on, or they can just fractionally reserve the money, or like courthouse, just steal the money under threat and duress. I wanted to ask you something, and I totally forgot what the hell it was. Keep going, man.
Filming in court?
Huh? No, filming in court? No, what were we talking about just a second ago?
The police state.
Police state, Philippines. I don't know. It'll come back to me.
Exactly.
But, oh yeah. If one thing, you got to pick one thing right here, right now, that you would want reversed or changed in America, or the police force. Let's just stick to the police force. The one thing, what would it be?
Yeah, we just talked about it. Nixon is the freaking moron that started the drug war, dude. That's when it started going downhill. Oh my God.
So good.
It really is.
Goodbye drug war.
Yes, goodbye drug war. I don't know if you know that there is another country that was sick of the drug war, and they actually legalized everything, and it freaking made everything way more better, mellow. They could help out the people instead of jailing
Switzerland?
people. No, it wasn't Switzerland.
Who was
can't remember the country. It's one of the Spanish countries.
South America?
Portugal?
Maybe.
Something like that. Yes.
So the drug war, that and traffic law is probably the two things cops abuse the most.
Correct.
Get rid of drug laws. The people, the drug war helps drug dealers and police. It helps them the most. Those are the two people that benefit the most from the drug war, is the police force and the drug dealers. If you get rid of the drug war, drug dealers don't have anyone to sell to because we just get our own at the store or from our neighbor or whatever we want. We'd have freedom. And then the cops would have to like decrease their police force by at least half.
Literally. John, it's so out of control here. Our idiot dictator, Charlotte County Sheriff Bill Permel, puts people in jail for one joint. One freaking joint. How outrageous and stupid is that? A waste of taxpayers' money.
Let me tell you my one thing real quick. The idea that any body or police force or government agency can investigate themselves.
Correct.
And then claim that that we're sovereign citizens.
Correct.
Listen, bro, you guys investigate yourselves, and then you have the nerve and audacity to ask me if I'm a sovereign citizen. Who's sovereign? Who's sovereign, me or you?
Correct.
How about when you give me a speeding ticket, I'll take this ticket to my internal affairs department. We have 1 year to get back to you. We'll let you know if we decide if John was speeding or not, and just stand by, okay?
Correct.
Who's doing that, me or them?
Correct. So it does sound like you have tried internal affairs and you know it's a joke.
Dude, I'm like filing a complaint from the person I filed a complaint with. They come back and tell me they come back with a statement that's like an alternate reality. So then I file a complaint on them because of their alternate reality. And then I get another alternate reality from the first two realities.
Correct.
And then at this point, I'm like, can I just have a meeting with somebody? Because there's 3 different dimensions, and I don't want to create a 4th and 5th dimension and, get sucked in some kind of legal wormhole here. And they're like, no, we're not going to meet with you, and we're not going to talk to you on a recorded phone line. Please stop calling us. One of your subscribers from California is claiming to be your attorney.
Wow.
So there's your internal affairs.
That's pretty bad.
I think I'm renaming them right now, Andy. Internal don't cares.
That is a good one. That's a very good one.
Internal don't cares. The IDA.
I agree.
IDC, whatever.
I forgot to say right away too. Another idea that I had when I first started this 6 years ago, John. Like I said, I wanted to expose what's going on here. So I don't know. I think you've seen what I do here too. Is another way I expose the corruption is, and I don't know if you're aware. You are aware how much power you have with Sunshine Law here in Florida, right?
I'm glad you brought that up because that's what I want to talk about. So go ahead. Tell me the powers. Tell me what you and I are going to team up and do together. Correct? Hello.
So with Sunshine Law, oh my God, you can literally investigate the investigators. It is beautiful. I admit it doesn't always go well, and they're a pain in the ass. Sometimes they try to overcharge you so you get the documents. But I have found out so much dirt in 6 years. It's just outrageous. So one of the things that I like to do with Sunshine Law request on, John, is I like pulling all the internal investigation reports, and then I do a story on it. I'll do the I will pull the documents on Facebook with their name. I'll go to one of those websites where I can get all the words off of the internal affairs, and I will literally just paste it right onto Facebook. Expose. And that is why they hate me here. In fact, that's why. I don't know
Andy.
if what.
Okay, slow down a little bit. That's why they hate you there in Charlotte County, because your phone's breaking up a smidge.
Sorry. All right. So that's why they hate me here, because I pull reports and I expose it. So that's why I don't say my full name a lot, because I do get a lot of death threats. What about you?
Yes, I do.
All right. Yeah. So that so since we are talking about Sunshine Law, have you pulled records yet on how many times they've looked you illegally up on the David system?
No, I'm waiting on a hero like you to come with me.
Yeah, correct. I highly recommend you do that one. I highly recommend you. Have you did a Sunshine Law request to see how many times your name has been mentioned in you're in Pasco County?
Yeah.
Okay. You do Sunshine Filax is mentioned in your system for the past however many years you've been there. And it might blow your mind, the documents that you'll find.
Like, give me an example.
Oh, my God. Okay, 6 years ago when I found out about the Sunshine Law, 6 years, 5 years, whatever, and I started pulling records, they didn't know that I knew, and so they were talking about me, and I found out I was called Signal 20. What do you think Signal 20 is?
I don't know. I'm breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. You said, do I know what Signal 20 is? And I said, I don't know.
Okay, that's mental.
That's what?
Just because it's mental.
What's that mean?
So, John, they try to label you, so sometime when they come, if they do come to your residence, they can look you up on that drop-down menu when they pull you up on the computer, and that drop-down menu will come down and they'll say, oh, he's mental, man. We got to treat him differently. Like, should we have the tasers out right away? Should we have a gun out right away?
Really?
Oh, dude.
So they classify. They put you in a certain class.
Okay? So that's another secret I want to tell you. Do a Sunshine Law request to see what your drop down menu says about you on.
You broke up there.
And in fact, I know that they call you. I bet 100 pesos they call you a sovereign citizen. Even, by the way, are you?
No. Well, what does that mean?
All right. Okay, so sovereign citizen to them is like freaking evil, bad.
I know what it means to them. To them, it means anyone who hurts their feelings
and believes that they have rights,
and believes that they're an American, that they can move around without being harassed by gunmen.
Correct.
That's what they think a sovereign citizen is.
Correct.
The Southern Poverty Law Center definition would be something like people who turn in their Social Security cards, don't want to have anything to do with paper contracts with the government, which I can understand their position, but it's almost impossible to function in society that way. I would love to be able to shake all that stuff, but
correct.
And then they have, then they classify me as a sovereign, the kind of sovereign that actually reads laws, knows his rights, and refers to the Constitution. So basically a law-abiding American citizen who stands on his rights. They also classify as a sovereign citizen.
Correct.
That's upside down world.
Correct. I can't wait for you to, if you get a chance to interview Jeff Gray, man.
I would love to.
He would tell you horror stories of what he's found out. Did I mention to you how many, he found out how many times they looked him up on the David system across Florida. Do you have any idea how many?
I'm sure it was thousands.
200.
I'm sure it was hundreds. I said hundreds. And that is plenty.
Sorry.
I didn't say hundreds.
Need to do a search on it. I think you do too.
So
do a search.
Listen, man. Let me check how long this call's going. All right, we're right at a half hour. So I want to get together with you. I want to do another interview with you.
Right.
I think we're like 2 hours away from each other, if I'm not mistaken.
It's funny that you mentioned that. I was almost tempted to ask if you do want me to head up there, because there's that other guy I want you to meet, James McLinnis, running for sheriff, who is freaking brilliant. You would love him, man. Very, very smart.
Well, let's get together and do an open records request, Sunshine Law stuff, and I'd be glad to go to lunch with you guys, and we can hang out for the day, make a video, get something accomplished.
Correct.
You sound good?
I do admit, me and the wife had the cleaning company, so right now with the birds here, that's going to be a while. But like on a weekend, yes, we could go up there, and we can both show you how easy Sunshine Law request is. You can do that in email, you can do it on the phone. I do admit in person is way more fun. I love it. Sure, you don't believe it.
Say that again. In person, it's way more fun.
Yes, that too. And did you make yourself a press pass or no?
Yeah. I think I saw this one of yours you use is probably almost exactly the same.
Okay, yeah, because that actually really, really, really does possibly help more sometimes than being a regular citizen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it gives an illusion of you have to give a it's a First Amendment badge. That's basically what it is.
Correct.
I'm a guy who went to the lengths of laminating the actual law so I don't get harassed by gunmen.
Wow, very good. Very, very good.
That's the bottom line.
So in person doing the Sunshine Law, I'd have to wait for the snow.
You have to wait for the snow. Wait, you have to wait for the snow to melt because your phone's breaking up.
Bird. So here's the reason why this phone could be breaking up. Have you ever heard of the cell phone Stingray?
Oh, stop, man! No conspiracies right now. We're at a half hour.
Okay, did you know that McGinnis busted the cops in Pinellas County for using it on him?
I want to talk to McGinnis, and I want to hang out with you. And I'm gonna plug your channel right now, and we're gonna talk again in the future.
All right, that sounds fair, man.
Your channel, one more. Look up. Just go to Google or YouTube and type in Charlotte County Cop Watch. Right?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, you are right. Especially on YouTube, especially on Facebook, just type in Charlotte County Cop Watch. Because as you know, I have so many freaking websites. It's not even. Google, it should come up.
Breaking up again, Andy. Hello.
Wow. Yeah, I know, dude. The phone call is bad. The Stingray's messing up, man.
The Stingray is doing it to us, man. It's the Stingray, man. It's not.
I'm telling you, Nick Linus has got documents, dude. He'll blow your mind. He got a deputy to admit it in deposition.
Listen, I believe you. Steve Irwin believes you. He was trying to make a phone call. Stingray killed him.
That's right. That's what I'm telling you.
All right. That's a good way to end this. Brother, man, call me.
All right.
Text me anytime you want. Let's get together. We'll do another interview. The reason I want to keep them at a half hour is because I literally have to listen to them over again and re-record it. It's a technical thing, and maybe you guys can teach me stuff about that too. So,
I do know how to fix that problem. That you
good.
Have. Yes, I'll get back to you.
Let's cut it off for now. Thank you so much for calling. It was a pleasure speaking with you. Keep up the good fight. Go Gipper. Anything you want to add?
Yep, Charlotte County Cop Watch, YouTube and Facebook. I am everywhere.
Andy, it was a pleasure.
All right, man.
I'll talk to you soon. You too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Okay, see ya.